Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Meet the People. My name is David Feiner. I'm the Communication Technology Manager in the City of Pittsburgh's Department of Innovation and Performance. This is the first episode of 2023, so happy 2023 to all of you out there. Today we have two guests on the show from the Department of Human Resources, Khyla Freeman and Jason Yuhasz. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Do you two like each other?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that right off the bat.
I like Khyla. I don't know her feelings.
Yeah, no, he's cool. He's cool.
Did you get paid to say that?
No.
Actually,
No,
you did.
no.
Technically, you did.
Well, technically, but we
saying
didn't know
no.
each other before we got the job, so, you know.
Okay, so it's good that you, working in the roles that you're in, that you actually like each other.
Yeah, we get along really well, so that's good.
Okay. Well, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming in for this.
Sure.
I really appreciate you taking the time. So we're just going to have a conversation. Hopefully these are questions that you have answers to.
I hope so, too.
We'll find out.
Khyla, let's start with you. Personal history, where you're from, how'd you get here, and what is it that you're doing with the City of Pittsburgh?
Okay, so I am actually from San Diego, California. I moved here in 2014 to go to school at Pitt, so I've been in Pittsburgh literally ever since. I have a little bit of a different background getting to where I was. I started off doing nonprofit work and like youth wellness and stuff. And then I went into sports performance training, which I actually do part-time. And then I went into this role. So I actually got this role because a lot of the things that I did behind the scenes were a lot of like training and development, also outside of just like the physical training. And so that's how I got here.
How does someone who grew up in San Diego choose, and I'm not saying anything against the City of Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
but how does somebody from San Diego find Pittsburgh and choose to come here?
So, believe it or not, I only wanted to go to schools on the East Coast. I applied to like one or two schools on the South, but I didn't want to go to school in California because I wanted something different. And at the time, I was also looking to go somewhere where I could do track as well. So, actually, Pitt was one of the schools that actually ended up taking me for track. And that's how I found out about Pittsburgh. And believe it or not, I actually had neighbors in California that were from Pittsburgh, and now they live out here. So that's kind of funny. They like moved back. So that's how I found out about Pittsburgh, and I felt like the school was super welcoming. And I did want to experience seasons. Be careful what you wish for. But I have enjoyed it ever since.
What was the coldest temperature you remember in San Diego?
Ooh, it's like 58.
That's
Like,
rough.
yeah, that's the coldest one in San Diego.
Since we're recording this in February, I'm guessing that's something you wish for now.
Yes, yeah. It was nice to have that 50-degree day yesterday, but yep, it's pretty cold right now.
All right. Jason, same question. Where are you from? How'd you get here? And how did we get so lucky to have you at the City of Pittsburgh?
Well, there were a few things that happened. I was kind of the opposite of Khyla, that I started here. I went out west. I was in the great state of Nevada for about 18 years, and I came back in, March of last year. Family is here. I had a chance to get out west and try it, and I'm glad I did, and glad to be back around my family. The weather's a different story. The sky in Nevada kind of is about this blue. I haven't seen that yet since I came back. I'd like to see the sun at some point. But no, I like it. I had looked for state and county jobs, and City of Pittsburgh was the first one to come through with an offer. And I do like the training and development function and having some freedom to do that. And it's been working out so far, and I'm glad to be here.
So Nevada, Las Vegas.
So it was both. It was Las Vegas down south, and then Reno a little bit more towards the north. It gets cold. Reno gets cold. It has seasons. There's snow. Similar drivers that you'd find around here every winter. Kyle and I talk about that. But the dry. It was nice and dry. It was good. It was good hair weather.
Yeah.
You would appreciate.
I totally
that.
understand. Yeah.
I do miss the sun and the blue.
So when the time came after 18 years in the desert, this is where you chose to spend the rest of your life.
My family is here, and I try to keep the focus on my family is here. There's no escape. I love my family, and I must be near around them. It's great sometimes. Yeah, I tried to savor it. Yeah.
I live about a mile from my in-laws. For
I
a
understand.
reason.
The little distance.
Yep, little distance. It's good. They never watch this stuff. They'll never see this. All right, so the two of you work together in human resources. So tell us about the job that you do and how it has changed since you started.
You want to start, Jason?
Go ahead.
So we're housed under the HR department mainly because we deal with a lot of the mandatory training. So, right, like no domestic violence, no DHR, like which is discrimination, harassment, retaliation, fair hiring, a lot of the things like that. So that's why we're really housed under HR. But we also do a lot of personal and professional development as well. So just wanting to make employees better, making sure that they can advance themselves in their career. We get a lot of recommendations on things that we should do or ask. So just catering to different departments when it comes to that. So it's definitely been an interesting, diverse experience because we went through a lot of change in the very beginning, but it has been good so far.
So when you first got here, you got here at the same time, correct?
Pretty much. He started a week before me.
So you got here at the same time.
Yeah,
What were you told in the first couple of days? This is your job, and this is how you're going to do it. What were you told then?
From what I'm remembering, the gentleman that hired us, Richard Butler, I admire, respect Richard very much. I miss him very much. He was with us for first month or two.
Maybe even less than that, like a few weeks.
But he laid it out. He had been here for a few years. He was our top cover, if you will, and he was kind of directing. We're going to do this training. We're going to do that. And without him, we kind of had to find our footing again. And everyone in our department's been very helpful, helping us find our way. And here's what the city needs by ordinance. Here's what departments are requesting. And we've improv'd our way through this, and I think we're fairly successful so far. Always room to improve, but Richard laid out, these are the must-dos, and then there's the can-dos, and we took it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that you have a lot of freedom in the job?
Definitely.
Yes, we do.
So you're given a list, or you're given priorities of what you're supposed to accomplish, but then you're told, change it how it works for you?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're considered the subject matter experts when it comes to training and development. So, so that's when we had to figure out but it's like, it's really that's it. So we have a list of trainings that we have to do. And then after that, it's kind of up to us what we continue to offer, because we can't just, sit there and twiddle our thumbs, but to look at the city and what people need and what we've heard about and kind of come up with trainings, whether it's bringing people in, because we've had like the employee assistance program come in for some trainings, or bringing people in for lunch and learns, or making up things that we feel like are valuable. So there's a lot of leeway for that.
What have you changed?
That's a difficult one to answer, because when Richard Butler was here, we weren't here long enough to get a feel for this is how things are, this is how things have been. We didn't have that background, and our tenure is about 9 months or so here right now. And our goal, though, is to help the most people with the most, get the most good to the most people, whether it's the mandatory courses or employee development, helping people lead, helping people follow, whatever people need. We're finding our own path. And after we're here about a year to see one calendar cycle of things, and we can adjust. We're grateful for the flexibility that we have, and just kind of move and adjust however we need.
Yeah, I think the biggest change was having a training and development department, or people that do the trainings, because I think there was a team before 2020, like COVID happened, and then everybody kind of got wiped clean from then on, and there was no training and development for a while. And so I think the biggest change was having something that continually happens, having opportunities to do these trainings more often than they used to be. It would be like, oh yeah, there's one here and one there, and then it would like disappear for a while, then it might come back. So I think the biggest change we have made was just by being here and doing our jobs well, that people actually want to continue to come to our trainings.
I will have been with the city for 10 years in May. And I knew that there were new people in your roles, based on the amount of emails we were getting.
Okay.
So I didn't know that you existed, but I knew that you existed.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of trainings is a lot. And that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Are these trainings coming from the two of you, or were these guidelines that were put forward to start with?
A lot of them come from the two of us as far as planning wise. The 3 mandatory ones were already there that we've helped build out, and like, you know, we've changed to fit our styles, but for the most part, right, like we've put them together.
There were some pieces that were already packaged and organized for us, but then we've adapted that and changed a few things. As ordinances and different requirements change, we want to meet that. The thing that I like about what we do is that it's not like, well, that person in that department, here, you get to do the training, whether this person wants to or not. Khyla and I applied for this, we auditioned for it, and we're in this position, you know, for good or bad, to do the training for all the departments. Which I'd like to think is a relief for, well, maybe Sally or Bill in the widget department doesn't want to do the training. That's why we exist, and I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, me too.
You said you're going to come up to a year with the city in a couple of months. So you're going to see a year's cycle of what's going on. Do you have ideas of what you're going to do beyond that 1 year mark? Do you have ideas for 2023 that you can just tell me? Nobody's watching this. Just between the 3 of us, what are some of the trainings I can look forward to?
So Jason has a really good one that we started thinking about.
Yeah, and we're trying to concoct things that are, again, that could be the most good of the most people, and we're planning on calling it Drama-Rama 2023. And it's just about, you hear the term drama in the workplace, drama between people, and a little bit of the background of why that happens, you know, personality, physiologically, why this happens, how to recognize it, and then what you can do if you're someone's coworker, if you're someone's boss, if you're someone, wherever you are in the pyramid. We're hoping this is a thing that will help the most people. And then also, we're going to keep offering the partnership with the Employee Assistance Program, the Leadership Symposium, which is for, we want it to get as far as it can, but things that'll help supervisors be better supervisors, managers be better managers, and as people can learn and grow from these courses. So we have that, and then whatever else. What am I not thinking about right now?
I think the biggest thing was, the drama triangle. It's like a book, right? I think that's what it's
Cartman
called.
Drama Triangle.
Yep. So talking about that and how people can be, I'm like drawing a blank on the word.
Passive aggressive.
Yes,
We're going to hit that
go.
too.
Yeah, hitting passive aggressiveness, because obviously in the workplace that's something that's very common. People don't want to face their problems head on, and that actually partners really well with our conflict resolution training. And so it'll be kind of like something to build upon with that. So those are some of the ones that we've come up with so far, and that would be a series. The drama one would be a series.
So I've been a manager for a long time. Years. And I don't ever remember there being this amount of focus on helping managers be managers, or helping employees be employees, or helping make a better workplace for everybody. When do you think that change started? Was it a pandemic thing, or was it before that?
I think it was happening before that, slowly. My mom actually is like big into leadership development. That was what she did for a lot of her roles previously. And I know that was like a need for a lot of businesses and industries in the past, but I feel like after 2020, people had that time to sit and realize, what do I really want? Do I want work-life balance? You know, do I want to love my job? Do I hate my job? And I feel like after that, people suffered from a lot of like mental health issues, and as a result, it was kind of like, what are you going to do about it? So I feel like, you know, we're not in charge of necessarily like the health aspect, even though we do have that in the HR department. But if we can make people better and feel like they're engaged, then that's like a part of feeling better at work. And if you can make a better leader, then people are going to less likely hate their jobs, because most people don't leave jobs, they leave people.
Right.
So
The input I would have on that is, my background, I'm retired from 26 years in the Reserve and National Guard. And on the military side, it was you go to a leadership school, you go to a development school, and this is you go to a class before you get a promotion. And it talked a bit about leading people, being accountable to yourself, being accountable to those around you. And I was happy when I had the interview with Mr. Butler that we're here to develop our own people. We're here to make the city of Pittsburgh people better. And that was really appealing that, wow, not only are you going to do the shall do's and must do training, but you have things that make your workforce better. Mm-hmm. That there was a strong appeal to that, truly.
One of the things I've always done as a manager, I've had in the back of my mind is the concept between go do this and let's go do this. Mm-hmm. And so as I manage my staff, I don't just say go do stuff. I will go and stand next to them while they're doing it, and I'll do it with them.
Sure.
I would never ask them to do anything I wouldn't do myself. Mm-hmm. I am not a perfect manager, and I know that there are things I need to learn still. For example, the fair hiring training that I sat through a couple of weeks ago, you guys brought up a lot of good points that I had not thought of before when you pointed out my biases. Thank you very much. Talk about the relationship, how the two of you were able to essentially tag in, tag out, and go through that training and not make it stale.
It's just pure unadulterated talent would be the best.
That's what
the best explanation. I mean, No, we practiced it. We had a good start from Richard, and I can't thank him enough for giving us a good launching point. And Khyla and I got into it, and we looked at it, and we worked on it, and we had to practice it. And we found there were things that Khyla's stronger in this portion, and I'm a little more comfortable with that portion. And through practice, trial and error, we got to it, and I think it rolls well, and it's a nice yin and yang blend of how we present and then the material that we present, and we always keep adjusting. You stick with what works and then adjust what needs adjusting, and I'm happy with it so far.
Yep, it's actually the first training we learned how to do. So, yeah, while Richard was still here, that was the first training we saw. That was the first training we did on our own without his help. And so I feel like you caught it when we're already kind of used to it. We're already kind of in the flow. And like Jason was saying, we have been practicing. A lot of the practicing is just getting in front of people and be like, hope for the best. And then we try to make it fun too, because if we were in the audience, we wouldn't want to sit there and be like, man, this is boring. Like, why do I want to listen to this? But kind of, I feel like the best thing that both Jason and I do is try to tell stories. And if you tell stories, then people are more interested in what's happening. And then also engaging the audience in what you're talking about instead of just hearing our voices the whole time.
My least favorite thing about seminars, symposiums, trainings is people who put their speech on a slide.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
5 paragraphs of text that I've already read before they get through the first sentence. Mm-hmm. You didn't do that. Mm-hmm. You put pictures and used what I remember from high school, the bold word method. You only put the key topics on screen. You also moved around the room, both of you. Jason came and sat next to me because he said the biases.
Yeah, he's a really mover, yeah.
Similar to me by the same barber bias.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Gillette. In that practicing, do you have, other than Richard Butler or anyone else in HR, do you have a practice audience?
No.
Each other.
Yeah, us. Yeah. I was like, we don't have anything. Yeah, we don't go in front of people. I think our training from before this has gotten us to do well, and I think it just happens to work that we both work together really well. So, no, it's just me and Jason, and we give each other feedback at the end of our trainings.
I think it's a testament to both of you. You've been here a short period of time, both of you, and the fact that you both walked into this new at essentially the same time, and you are so comfortable right away. People take years before they're comfortable doing these things for a company. and you're standing in front of 35, well, not all at the same time, but 3,500 people and saying, listen to us because we say you should listen to us. Yes?
Yeah.
And there are things, whatever the context of military, civilian, corporate, nonprofit, what have you, that people who are attending a session, people are going to be, why do I got to be here? Or, oh, I'm interested in this. And it's the people who are in there, what do you do with that opportunity? You get handed the ball, and how are you going to run with this? And there's some things that I found you can do. What I like to do is if you keep things a little lighter, or you make it a little more interactive. And we temper that with if it's a more serious subject matter, we're more serious about it. But if there's something that we can have a little bit of a fun with it, or keep it a little more engaging, even some of the more sensitive trainings, I at least try, I don't know how I succeed, but I try to keep it engaging, to keep a person paying attention. That if you left there with a couple takeaways, that's the win. If you knew what to do, call this person, go to this site, do that, that's the win. Not everybody's going to love it, but if you leave there with a couple takeaways, that's the win.
My dog loves the free blanket.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
That's the takeaway.
You do get physical
Yeah,
takeaways.
there's stuff, there's swag.
Yeah, you get swag. So
Are you open to suggestions? I don't have one right now, but if an employee of the city of Pittsburgh is watching this and thinks, I need a training on this thing, are you open to those, or are you saying no, we're the ones in charge and that's the way it is? And
please
I can
send
tell-
suggestions.
yeah.
Please, we welcome them because it's our job to do it, but we're doing it for them. We're doing it for you all, the city employees. So if you have something that you really need, we'll do everything in our power to either do it ourselves or find somebody that might be, a little more qualified to do a certain subject.
And when we do a session, usually the in-person sessions, we'll send out a survey afterwards. And it's not that we want us to have sunshine blown at ourselves, but we're looking for what could we have done better. Or if a person says, no, I would like training about this, or if we see, though, there's a trend, people are asking about, whatever other training, like between the two of us, if we can conjure that, or training and development coordinators, we will coordinate with another agency to deliver the training. And that's what we want to do. We want to listen. Maybe not grant everybody's wish, but as many as we can.
3,500 city employees, approximately. How many do you think in 9 months that you've spoken to?
That's a good question.
1,000?
607, I think. Because we do keep a name tally for some of the mandatory trainings. I'm trying to remember.
It might be above that, actually.
It might, could
now
even be
that
more.
we've-
Okay.
Yeah, I would say at least 1,000 because once domestic violence prevention started rolling in, we got a lot of people. So between virtual and in person, I would say 1,000 or more.
Okay.
Can you name all of them?
Yes. No, we have.
There was that one.
So far, what is your, and you don't have to say the same thing, and you don't even have to listen to each other on the answers, but what is your favorite training to conduct?
I like fair hiring, actually. That's my favorite one to do because I feel like it's super informative, and that's the one I feel like we have the most fun with. So, yeah, I would say fair hiring.
A close second, and I agree with Khyla, the close second is the conflict resolution, because again, it's a lighter topic. We can have a little more fun with it. But the fair hiring, we're trying to drive home some critical points and things that we need the folks to understand, but we can make it a little lighter, have a little more fun with it. We have fun with it, and if the attendees are enjoying and you see that I got it moment in their eyes, again, that's the win, and that makes me feel good. That's success for us. It's success for others.
That's great. You guys are awesome, just so you know.
Thank you. I agree.
Thanks. You said I agree.
I'm not gonna argue.
All right. So I'm now going to ask 4 questions to each of you, same 4 questions to each of you. This is not about your job. You've not been prepped for these, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. And whoever wants to go first, it's fine. Okay. What is your favorite pandemic purchase?
I discovered a Jameson Black Barrel somewhere in the middle of the plague there. It was in Reno, Nevada, and I found the Smith's grocery store had Jameson Black Barrel. Pairs very well with a Pepsi or Coke Zero.
Good to know.
So I'm going to show my age a lot in a interesting way. So I got a tripod for your phone to like make videos. And so I bought that because I was like making a lot of like workout videos on social media because I had like a time in between where I was like laid off. So that's like but it's the best purchase I've ever had because it helps me with a lot of things. So
That's good to know.
yeah, in 2020.
My wife hates all of my purchases, so doesn't matter what I buy. Famous, not famous, alive, dead, doesn't matter. Who's on your zombie apocalypse team?
If you could clarify the question of, are we responding to zombies or these are fellow zombies with us?
That's up to you.
Understood. Go ahead.
I would say if I was fighting zombies, then I would have The Rock on my team. Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
Exactly. I would have Beyonce on my team because she's powerful. I feel like she might know what she's doing. And then I would have trying to think. I would have Tom Cruise on my team because he does all those crazy stunts in his movies. So I know that he has to. I've seen behind the scenes. He does it in real life. So he can help us with that
Okay,
stuff.
cool. Jason?
I'd replace Tom Cruise with Jackie Chan. The man does his own
that's
stunts.
true.
That would be. And then to shout out to my guys in the 775 fellas from my motorcycle club that either zombieing or zombieing response, I'd go in with them any day.
I would have. I had The Rock on my team,
Yeah.
but instead of Beyonce, I would bring Serena Williams.
Oh, actually, that
She
is
scares the crap out of me, and I think she would scare the crap out of the.
I
wouldn't want
agree. She's strong.
Yes.
So I'd be like, I would switch that too. That's actually a good one.
I'd stand behind her. Just
Yeah,
let her do all the work.
I'd want slower runners than myself. It takes a lot to be slower
Just
than me,
give
but
her
I'd
a
want people who are
racket.
slower
Yeah,
than
you're
me.
good. You're good. Yeah, you're thinking.
What was your first car?
You can go.
So dating myself, just a couple years ago when I was in high school, the first car that I had that was mine was a 1982 Ford F100,
Nice.
3-speed with overdrive, 3 pedals. Yeah, gas was $1, I think, back then. So yeah, dating myself, dollar gas.
I think mine was 2000. I can't remember if it was 2004 or 2007. I know it's like a big difference, but it was a Toyota Corolla, a little silver car that would blow in the wind. So I had to switch.
Blow in the wind.
Yeah, it
0 to
would.
60 and 7 exits.
Exactly.
Dating also myself. My first car was a 1966 Buick LeSabre. My dad was into antique cars. This thing was a boat. It could fit 5 people in the trunk. Don't ask
Understand.
me how I know that.
Because you didn't try it or anything.
Not at all.
You hear how people would sneak into driving movies
It
that
fit
way.
4 people across the bench seat, front bench seat, 3 people in the back bench seat, 5 in the. Okay. By the way, aliens are arriving tomorrow. Are you going to go with them? And why or why not?
Can you take people with you?
It's up to you. It's your answer. I would take The Rock with me.
Yeah. I would say, assuming these aliens are not going to kill me on their ship or anything, I would go with them and I would take my family and my friends with me.
Okay.
It would depend on their speeding laws and traffic enforcement and tax structure. It's not perfect here, but it's the best we have. I'd need more information before I could give a solid answer, but I'd likely go. I mean, see what happens.
Okay. Why not?
Yeah. You might be able to come back. You know,
Right.
you never know.
And you might not. But
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Could be better.
Okay, those are the 4 questions. So now you're off the hot seat. If there's a city employee watching this and they want more information about trainings and they haven't gotten an email from you in 23 or 24 minutes, how can they get a hold of you and find out about upcoming trainings?
So you can reach out to us at our emails. So Khyla.Freeman@pittsburghpa.gov.
Jason.Yuhasz@pittsburghpa.gov. And the little trick, you look on your keyboard, you find a letter Y, make a right-hand circle, Y-U-H. Find a letter A, make a right-hand circle, A-S-Z. Every phone order I've ever done, I just talk the person through that. first dot last at pittsburghpa.gov. 4th floor, HRCS counter, Ross Street side.
Yep.
And on the Pittsburgh on the homepage, it's there for
Yeah, we
the
have a
link for
training
HR.
development on the intranet.
That's fantastic. Do you have anything else you want to add? Secrets, government secrets, anything you want to share that I haven't asked about? Something you want to talk about? Anything? I can see it in your eyes.
I would say, come to our mandatory training so you can just get it out of the way. I promise we won't bore you. That's what I would say.
I can't encourage you more than if you do it, you don't have to do it. You don't have to hear about it anymore. That if you just do the thing, you don't have to hear about it. That you get it done, you get some knowledge, you can help others. I'm thankful and grateful for the opportunity for my co-workers within HR, and I'm remain glad to be here.
Yep,
And
thanks
thank
for
you
having
for
us.
this. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time. For those of you watching, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on Meet the People.